Hey guys, it's Dr. Braddock and Dr. Clay, and we're going to do something unique. We're actually going to shoot a video comment for the video above. That way we don't have to type out some really long thing that could probably be misconstrued. Now we feel more comfortable just talking to you guys. The video above had a number of different things in there. Some people loved it. It had several thousand views. Some people hated it, or some people had issues, and we thought it would be a really good time to shoot kind of a video comment. There were some things that we have to understand that some of you watching that video, that may be the first exposure you've ever had to us. You have no idea who we are. For those of you who fall into that category, we actually produce content like this every single week. We do it all for free. It's on the Legacy Gold Facebook page. And so there's a lot of you, several hundred of you, that basically follow all the videos. And the goal is that you take what you can use, and anything that you don't like or you don't want to use, just leave it. But we want to cover two things that we think are actually pretty important for you guys to understand.
Yeah, so we had a couple different comments. One of them was quality of care. That it was shocking to some of you that if we didn't adjust on the first visit, that meant we were giving substandard care. And so one of the things to keep in mind is that I think, I even know for me personally as a chiropractor starting out, I had an exorbitant amount of time, and I did adjust a lot of patients on their first visit. But you have to understand, you become a great communicator and you start seeing a lot of people. And for us, we typically work in 3-hour shifts. So in most of our offices, it's from 7 to 10:30 in the morning and then from 3 to 6. And I'll tell you, being able to adjust all the current patients that you have, doing all the report of findings that you have scheduled for that day, plus processing somewhere between 6, maybe 10 new patients in a 3-hour shift, and then try to somehow go through that exam and somehow get through all those x-rays and do your due diligence and not miss a finding, and then somehow be able to deliver great care in a super busy office like that I'd have to be Superman.
It's difficult for us.
Yeah, it's absolutely impossible. So don't think for a second that there was a chiropractor one day or a management company one day that decided, you know what, I think what we're going to start doing off of a whim is we're just not going to adjust patients on the first visit. We're only going to do it on day 2. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you it came out of necessity. It came out of necessity in my office because we were so busy. And the thing about it is, I believe what happened was when someone or a number of chiropractors were forced out of necessity because they were helping so many people, they were forced to start adjusting the patient only on day 2 because they couldn't do it on day 1 plus take care of everybody else they had to take care of. I think what they were able to see is reflect back on how that actually developed a better patient, and a patient that was more likely to stay with them and take care of their spine and nervous system for a lifetime.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And that's our goal, is if we're going to be able to deliver the highest quality care we can, it is nice for me to be able to sit here after work, after hours, go over x-rays, not just from a pathology standpoint, but from a biomechanical standpoint, and really be able to take the time to relay that to the patient. I always tell a patient, if I get hit by a bus tonight, at least tomorrow you'll know exactly what's going on with your health. You'll be able to find a new chiropractor and start to get the care.
Exactly. So just keep in mind, we shot that video for the chiropractors that are out there that literally are seeing so many people. They're making such an impact in their community that adjusting people on day 1 in their offices is causing a bottleneck. It's causing a huge problem, and they're trying to figure out how to handle that. And so that's what that video is all about, was to help literally chiropractors that are in a situation that if they're going to help more people, they're going to have to start adjusting on day 2. We have a lot of coaching clients of ours that they only adjusted on day 1, and so that video was specifically for them to help them out. I understand if you're a chiropractor, you're only adjusting on day 1, you've got the time to do it, good for you, God bless you, but there may become a point in time where you get so busy, you're making such an impact in your community, you're going to want to go back and watch the original video to start to see how you can communicate with the patient to enable them to be able to stick with you long enough to where you don't have to adjust them on day 1 because you've got your hands, your hands are full.
Absolutely. And so that's the big thing, is a lot of what we talk about, some people really called into question scripting, and whether it's all about us, all about our office, and it's not really about the patients. This entire Legacy Gold page is designed for doctors. It's not designed for doctors to be able to take better care of patients. We told you on the video that states at the very top of the page every week, that's your job to decide quality of care. That's your job to decide if you're going to adjust them once or a million times, if you're going to take x-rays or not take x-rays, what technique you're going to use. we don't want to change the way you practice. We just want to help you communicate what you do better. So always remember that when you watch our videos. We got some people that were just vehement and really upset that we're trying to change you, or we're telling you what you're doing wrong. We're not. We're just saying there's a different way. We'll tell you what it is. If you like it, use it. If you don't, just delete the video or keep scrolling on to the next funny video. The second thing that we want to cover is that some people were kind of brought up, I think, absurdity of x-raying every patient. And so we're going to just tell you, again, if you do a subluxation station, we said this in the top video on the page, maybe you do a subscan, maybe you do a nervoscope, maybe you use x-ray, you don't. In our office, we utilize x-ray on about 99% of our adult patients. We don't x-ray our children, but our adult patients, because of the type of care we do in terms of structural care, that we can see that. Not only that, my second year in practice, maybe close to the end of my first year, there's a guy that came in named Bud, and I x-rayed Bud. He was an old guy, kind of rough around the edges. He said he'd been tilling his garden, his back hurt, his stomach hurt, and he needed me to adjust him. And he didn't need no damn x-rays. That's what he said. And so I told Bud, if you're going to be a patient here, I'm going to take some x-rays. We did. He had, on the AP view, you could actually see the calcification of the abdominal aorta from an AP view. And I'm not a genius, but I mean, I was, the goodness of God, let me catch this. Long story short, it was a 9.8 centimeter aneurysm, which you guys know is ridiculous. We sent him directly to the hospital. When he got there, they looked at the x-ray, said, we don't know how a chiropractor found this. They rolled him down the hall to the emergency surgery, and they actually lifted up the table when they got to the gap joints in the floor because they were afraid that even the bump in the floor would rupture that. The surgeon asked if he could keep the aneurysm in a jar, because it's the biggest he'd ever seen as a neurovascular surgeon, and he said that he actually called me on the phone and said, had you adjusted this guy, he would have died on the table before you asked him to roll over. I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever had a patient die on the table, and thankfully neither of us have, we don't want to. So we feel, again, in our office that we want to do that due diligence. We want to see the x-ray. We think it's prudent for us. If you want to use a nerve scan or a surface EMG or any of the other stuff that's out there available, just simply palpation, and you feel comfortable with that, do it.
Yeah, I can't tell you that. I mean, how many other Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and some of the x-rays that I see come across. I saw one the other day, agenesis of the dens, and then the spondylolisthesis that this patient had in their neck. And the thing was, it was 100% asymptomatic, and had that patient been adjusted, who knows? They look like, to me, looking at the x-ray, he was one sneeze away from death. So something to think about, and just keep in mind, we're not here to tell you your technique and exactly how you should treat a patient. We're here 100% to help you communicate what it is that you're wanting to do for the patient to help you be more successful.
Yeah, and some people had called in they've been in practice 20 years, 30 years, which is awesome. But x-ray technology has changed a lot as well. So we use dosimetry patches. We don't even get the lowest measurable level of radiation on our dosimetry patches. So we feel comfortable x-raying. I would x-ray my family, and so I would x-ray any other family as well. Again, adult patients. So we hope this helps you guys out. Again, if you disagree with some of the stuff we do, we're totally fine with that. We're not trying to change you, and we hope that you find some golden nuggets that you can steal. If not, you can just click somewhere on Facebook I'm positive, and you'll probably never see us again. And again, that's totally fine as well. We look forward to giving you guys more great content and helping you communicate at a higher level.
All right, guys, once again, thank you for watching these videos. Please hit the like and share button. And this is Dr. Braddock and Dr. Clay.
Signing off. God bless.